Okay, friends, let's go ahead and try to solve some of these. So this case, we have a square root, and then we have just some numbers. So my first goal is let's get that square root by itself. Because once we have the square root by itself, we can make it go away. So let's subtract 4 from both sides. Now let's square both sides. When we square both sides, on the left side, that square root goes away. See, told you, one way. And on the right side, 6 squared is 36. Now this is just a linear equation, so let's add 7. So that would be 43. And then let's divide by 3. 43 over 3. Now you should always double check, especially with these square root equations, to see if your number works. That is now your job. Plug back in and see if it works. Now this one has a little bit more spiciness going on. But our first goal is still the same. Let's go ahead and get the square root by itself. So we have the square root of x plus 3. So we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. So that's going to be 1/3 x plus 1. Now our next goal is square. On the right side, that square root just goes away, so we wind up with x plus 3. On the left side, I put a fraction there just to add a little bit of spiciness. Now I know that's 1/3 x plus 1 times 1/3 x plus 1, which is 1/9 x squared, plus, that's going to be 1/3 and 1/3, so 2/3, plus 1. You should probably make sure you can understand how to do that, so make sure you do that by yourself. Now with this quadratic, we need to, let's make everything equal to 0. So let's subtract x from both sides, so the x squared term stays the same. Subtracting x will be negative 1/3 x. 2/3 minus a whole is negative 1/3. And then 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Now if these fractions are making us uncomfy in our tum-tums, let's go ahead and multiply both sides by 9. So 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 1/9 is 1. 9 times 1/3 is 3. And 9 times 2 is 18. Now let's see, can we come up with numbers that multiply to 18 and add to 3? Ooh, I got it. Okay, so it's going to be x, well, I'll show you the whole piece if you need to factor by grouping. So x squared is going to be minus 6x plus 3x minus 18. So these make the negative 3x. And now, let's factor. So let's factor these two pieces. We can take out an x. We're left with x minus 6. We can take a 3. We're left with x minus 6. These match up. Yay! So that means we're going to have x plus 3, x minus 6. And as our final step, we're going to solve those. So that's going to be x is negative 3 and x is 6. Very important. You should plug back in and make sure one or both work, because you may have what's called an extraneous solution. Okay, did you plug it in? Did you see if it works? Oh, I'm not going to tell you. It's a secret. Shh. Ooh, now this one, I forgot to finish. That's supposed to be equal to 0. So we have a square root minus a square root. That's a little bit scary, but let's just put them on different sides and see what happens. So now we just have square root equals square root. This reminds me of that intro video I made. So square both sides. So you can have x squared plus 6x equals 2x plus 12. Let's get all this stuff on the left side of this quadratic. Not 14, 4x. Got a little excited there with my numbers. And then minus 12. Now can we come up with numbers that multiply to negative 12 and add to 4? Ooh, I got it. I'll wander through that factoring again in case you'd never seen it and blew up your brain. So that's going to be 6x minus 2x minus 12. That makes 4x. So let's factor these. So that's x plus 6, minus 2x plus 6. These match up. Hip, hip, hooray, yippee, yippee, yippee. And now I can write it as x minus 2 times x plus 6 equals 0. So x is going to be 2, and x is going to be negative 6. Once again, make sure you plug back in and see if one or both of these answers works. You may have what are called extraneous solutions, which we're not talking about very much. We could certainly go into that if you'd like, but we're not talking about it too much right now.